Hello, today we are going to be talking about using an encoder, programming and using your encoders for autonomous mode. So here I am creating just a basic op mode in my robot controller console. I'm going to switch it, of course, to autonomous, and I'm going to get rid of some stuff I don't even need. Goodbye. The first thing I'm going to do is reverse one of my motors, so they're both kind of working the same way. My motors are called left and right. Your motors may be called something different. And that's all we have to do for our main program for now. Now we're going to create a function. This is the most of it, all right? And in this function, we're going to have three inputs. One, two, oh, one's hiding back here. 2, and 3. The first one's going to be right target, and that's going to be how many ticks you want your right motor to go. Next is going to be left target. That's how many ticks you want your left to go. And the last one will be speed. Remember, 1 is full speed, 0.5 is half speed, etc. Now, and what's cool about it, we just created these three inputs, and they also just show up as variables right over here. Now, the first thing we want to do is we're going to go over to actuators in the dual, and we're going to reset our encoders. This is really important because your encoders, remember, even if you stop the program and start it again, every time we do this, every time we use these encoders, we are resetting them. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set our target positions, once again under dual. And instead of using 0, we're going to use these variables we just created as inputs. We have left target and right target. All right. The next step is we are going to now set the mode, once again, to run to position. All right, the position are those ticks we created. All right, and then very last for the inputs is we just want to set the power. And the power is going to be set, we're going to use our variable again, to speed. Let's duplicate this guy, put it right here. All right, now there's really only one last thing we have to do is that we want the program to pause while it's doing all this stuff so it doesn't have interfering code. So I'm just going to go over to logic, or I'm going to go to my loops and grab a while loop. And what we do is we want it to pause, the program just to pause while it's doing this stuff. And we have three things we're going to look at here. Where's my logic? Where's the and? Here it is. So I'm going to use an and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put an and inside an and, if you can believe it. And the first thing we're going to look at is that the program is running at all. So if the program is running, okay, get ready to call it idle. And if the motors are busy. And this way, it lets the motors get to where, this always happens. Let's shrink this up a little bit. Get in there. All right, if left is busy and if right is busy. Where are you at, actuators? All right. All right, so now it's pretty much good to go. This should work great. So I'm going to just make sure you can see all the code. You can pause it here if you want. So now we're going to call these functions. And all I do is grab this. And instead of calling it do something, I'm going to call it drive with encoder. All right. I'm going to call it here. And I want to get some numbers under math because this is where we're going to input what we want it to do. All right, and every time we call this, we can make it. So like, let's say I want to go forward 3,000 ticks, whoops, on both motors, and maybe I want to go at half speed. All right, then it would work. It would go straight forward. If I want it to go reverse, all I have to do, duplicate it, make it negative. If you want to turn, make one positive and one negative. It's a really handy feature, and you can even create another function that makes it turn right or left and just put this function inside of it. So for instance, if you wanted to be like, okay, we're going to make a right turn. I know that my bot, to make it turn, it's, minus 600 clicks or something. And forward 600 clicks. And then you just go over and boom, under your functions, I have a right turn function. All right, make sure you save it. And there you go. This should work great. I hope this helps.